that story about those skiers being hit at Beach Mountain, that was where my infamous, my one-time ever skiing took place.
That's where you were?
At Beach Mountain.
It's a fun place to go.
Yes. Well,
is that where you do your 90s weekends, Dave?
80s.
Is that where you go for that? Beach Mountain?
Biggie and I went up there a couple times for some 80s weekends and hosted and had a great time.
How's Biggie on the slopes? Graceful? Surprisingly graceful?
I'd say fragile, but
like those hippos.
daunting.
Like the hippos in Fantasia. Surprisingly graceful.
Yeah, like the hippos with the tutus that ice skate.
My best friend Biggie's not here today. BB Shea is in. Biggie is under the weather. I'm frankly no good. All I'm doing is thinking about his health. That's all I'm doing.
It's hard. It's hard for all of us to work.
It's very difficult to get through this. We're hoping he bounces back. He just feels a little under the weather, so out of an abundance of caution, he's decided not to come in today. You know, I was at Beach Mountain. BB Shea probably doesn't know this. I was 19 years old. I was 18 years old. We took a trip to Beach Mountain. I was in high school.
Oh, so you weren't even a college student yet?
No, I was not. And I'd never been skiing. And my friend Dustin, who you call Fonzie, he's like, come on, go skiing with us. I was like, no, I don't know how to ski. I don't like.
We're going to drink. We're going to party. We're going to get girls.
Right, exactly.
It was expensive back then.
Yes. And so we get there, and I didn't have anything. And they were like, go rent your stuff. So I go and rent all my stuff, and it's just terrible. Everything's.
What were you wearing? Blue jeans?
I wore blue jeans, and I had put on that white stuff on my nose to make sure I didn't get sunburned.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I did do that.
Young you doesn't usually do stuff like that.
He gave me that and said, put it on your nose. I thought he was pranking me.
The zinc oxide.
The zinc oxide. Yeah. And I had on my toboggan and everything. Mm-hmm. And the thing I wore, though, was too big for me. And it was warm. I was too hot, even though it was cold outside.
If it's not really cold, you can get very hot skiing.
So I said, all right, when are we going to party and ski? And they were like, well, we're going off to the tips or whatever it's called. We're going to the top. The
Widowmaker?
Yeah, they're going. He's like, we're going to the Widowmaker. And I said, well, what am I supposed to do? He's like,
Bunny.
Why don't you go down here on Bunny?
So you're not going to need those poles.
First of all, I'll take a 30-minute lesson on how me and all the other
pizza, French fry. Pizza, French fry.
It hasn't changed.
You French fried when you should have pizza.
Yes. Yes. Pizza. It's me and a bunch of 5-year-olds out there doing pizza and French fry. I'm 18. And everybody else up at the really high, good ones.
Oh, right here on K2.
We didn't even get to do. I really wanted to be in the ski lift. We had to grab on a rope that took us up.
Yeah, the bunny just has a tow rope.
Yeah, it's the tow rope. Exactly.
And it's hard when the first time you have to do it.
That's right. So I went down a couple of times. It's awful. Awful. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. And then, only about 30 minutes to an hour in, again, I'm by myself. All my friends have left me, and it's me and a bunch of little kids. Terrible.
Giving schnapps to single girls.
Hey, party at the top of the mountain.
At the top of the mountain. He's up there.
We got fuzzy navels. So do we.
I mean, it's just unreal. The difference in the experience that the two of us had.
Yeah, you always have the gift shop right there in sight.
Let me tell you.
The buildings.
I know the gift shop quite well because toward very early in the day, but the end of my day, basically, I go down the hill. I'm doing French fries, okay? Okay, I'm doing French fries. I'm picking up speed. And at the bottom of the hill, there's this young boy of about 7, I would say. And he looked up at me and put his hands up and stop. And I tried to pizza, but I could not. I couldn't do it.
The one time you couldn't pizza.
I couldn't. The one time. And I just kept on going toward him. And I remember saying, move, 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 move. And I just plowed him. And then his mother came out there and said, what kind of person are you to run over a 7-year-old boy? And the boy was crying. It was awful. An awful, awful day.
Yeah.
And she said, you don't deserve to be on the
I know.
You're right.
I'm not supposed to be here.
I know. And I walked into the gift shop or whatever it was and whittled the rest of the day.
Oh, Jed.
I did. There was
you have any hot chocolate with marshmallows? No, there's a Coke machine down the hall.
That's it. One guy.
You took a pocket knife with you just in case?
No, there was a guy.
Rent it.
Like to rent a jackknife?
There was a guy in there whittling. And he had hurt his knee, so he's like, I can't ski. I had just to sit here and whittle. So I said, well, let me sit next to you and whittle. And I rented a knife and a block of wood and tried to whittle a robin or a cardinal out of it.
Did he pull off an apple seed in just one cut? Or an apple skin with one cut?
He could do that.
Look at here.
Continuous slice.
Look at there. Got it. Well, bully for you. And my friends didn't come back.
I hear there's section up on top of the hill.
Did he teach you something about life? You look sad, young man.
I'm telling you, one of the worst. And then my friends got on the high school bus to go back home, but I had to get on the middle school bus because there wasn't room for me. So it was me and a bunch of middle school. There was one seat too many on the high school bus.
Taken.
Yeah, and the middle school seat broke down.
How old are you?
Yeah, I was 18. They were 13, and I was riding back.
On the short bus.
I bet you, my friend Dustin probably smuggled a couple of young ladies onto the high school bus.
Yeah, that's why the seats were gone. Do you think that little boy remembers getting yard sailed by you?
I wonder about that. That was a long time ago. I wonder if that kid.
I wonder if he's been back on the slopes.
Did he ever ski again?
He's been in physical therapy for
all that time.
the past 26 years.
Anonymous, you're talking about skiing as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, Chris, I was just telling BBC I can top your skiing experience.
Please.
I was dating this one girl. We went out a couple of times, and she was a skier. Said, "Hey, you want to go skiing?" And I wasn't a skier, and I'm like, "Sure, we'll go." So I go up. We go up to the top of the hill. We're skiing down, and I'm falling, but finally I get up there. Well, she's well ahead of me, and she meets up with some of her friends at the bottom of the slope. So I'm skiing. Of course, I can't stop. I ski right by them into the wall of the clubhouse. They're all just looking at me. Needless to say, that was our last date.
Is that Tim Carroll?
Yeah.
He's face planted on the side of. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
That's the one thing skiing can do. It can separate the cool from the uncool.
I mean, in a heartbeat.
At
Thank
least
you,
at the
Anonymous.
resort.
Appreciate that. Thank you for topping my story. That's the hard thing to do is stop. You just can't stop.
It is.
It's impossible. I got down at the bottom of that hill. I'll never forget the young boy's eyes.
Yeah.
So big and looking up at me like, please stop. And I could not. And I was big. I was a big.
And you're under 21.
Oh, yeah.
You can't drink, so
No.
that's the only thing to do up there is drink and ski.
Well, my friends sure got it done.
And have the sex.
And whittle. Don't forget about whittling.
They do that on 80s weekend. Whittling competition.
Whittling competition. I really thought, am I going to wind up being an expert whittler by the time this is over? And that didn't take place either. I just mostly just cut my thumbs. It was awful. It was a terrible experience all the way around. Heroes and zeros here today. This is similar to, I guess, cold weather. A family has been rescued from a frozen river in Montana when a group of Good Samaritans formed a human chain to pull them from their submerged truck. Truck was going down. Rescuers got out there and pulled everybody out of the water.
I'm sorry. Do we know how truck got in water?
Yeah, the truck accidentally veered off the side of the road, icy, veered off the side of the road, got into the water, and was going down when other people came along. A couple of rescuers. This is two guys, Calvin Smith and Pat McGungle, who rescued a woman named Samantha Reiter, talking about the whole thing.
Luckily, I'm a little taller, and I was able to touch the bottom of the river all the way out to the truck and help pass the kids off to shore.
The rest of us created a train up the bank. It was an amazing experience.
So everybody got out and started holding hands and just handing off the kids to the next people. So it's a mom and two kids inside the car.
If you had to form a human chain, you saw something like this. There was enough people to form a human chain. You said we need to form a human chain. I'll be the guy on dry land. You guys go on out.
I think it's best.
I mean, first person to the truck, that's the hardest job. That's the hardest part of the human chain.
Yeah.
That guy you heard first.
Deepest, coldest water.
Yes. He said, the first guy who said, I'm a little taller, so I went out into the water.
He was the tip of the spear, as
He's
they
the
say.
hero.
Ooh, he is really the hero. That's right. So I don't know. I'm not tall enough, really, I don't think, to start that. I'd say let's let the other guys.
You need me as an anchor. You need me holding this tree.
I need to be back. Back farther, exactly. Heroes and a zero. What would you do if you had boarded a plane and happened to see this when you sat down? Somebody has posted a photo of an airline passenger sending a text, and the text says, this is literally the body of the text, "We have COVID. Shh. That's why we're returning home a day early." So the person took a picture of the phone over their shoulder, but they think now maybe it was just this woman typed that because she knew they were looking over their shoulder. You know what I mean? So nobody, like, to teach them a lesson for reading the text, thinking it's staged like that. But if you saw somebody texting that, would you do something about it? What would you do?
Well, I mean, I would think in this day and age, you should probably say something.
Say something about it.
Her or the flight attendant?
Flight attendant.
Check her text messages? I don't think you can do that.
I don't know what to do. And they're on the plane. They're masked. But
I don't think you can confront the person. That's worthless.
You can get in a fight.
Yeah.
If you do that. Some people think it was staged because the woman knew that he was reading her text, which, is a little bit rude.
Not a great joke.
Right, no. And so she says, we're leaving a day early because we all have COVID. And they're all sitting right in front of these people. I don't know. I'd be leery. I'd probably try to hold my breath as long as I could for that flight.
Well, you got to wear your mask anyway. It's the best you can do.
Right.
It's the best that you can do.
That's all you can do, exactly. A hero Uber driver has been promoted after getting a hotel room for a teen passenger and keeping her safe as they got stuck on I-95 last week for 18 hours. Remember, of course, we know about that. Stim was just talking about it in a Demm report. This woman's name is Devontae Williams. She explained, I was driving a teenager. We got stuck. I wanted to make sure she was safe. I called her parents. I got her hotel room. I paid for it myself.
I had to assure the parents, listen, I understand the times we're living in, but that's not the type of person I am. I genuinely want to make sure your child is safe. I just genuinely wanted to make sure I was safe and she was safe.
That's a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
And a promotion is in store for that person. They have paid Devontae back and now given a promotion.
They had to walk to the hotel?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They had to walk a few miles.
Hopefully they were near an off-ramp.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That was such a once-in-a-lifetime type thing, that highway, I-95, freezing up like that.
How do you think most parents would handle that phone call?
I don't know. That's a tough one, isn't it, Dave? I mean, you're
it's
a
tough.
parent.
I mean, parents are taught not to trust, and I get that.
Right, yeah, right.
The teenager, they were going where? Was the teenager going in an Uber?
Didn't say. They were on I-95 in an Uber when they got stuck, like so many other people
I guess
did.
kids take cabs and Ubers.
Mm-hmm. I suppose,
they do.
Yeah.
In bigger cities.
Yeah.
Near bigger cities.
But I did like this, the Uber driver took it upon
himself.
himself.
Lucky on that. Could have been a lot worse.
Exact opposite for a guy who has now been arrested. He was in line for a Doja Cat concert.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Was it a competition?
Do you have any Doja Cat to accompany the story?
Oh, we need that. What does Doja Cat sing, BB
I don't know.
Okay.
Thanks for being here today, Beebs.
Yeah, no problem. She's got a song called "Say So" that's kind of popping.
Doja Cat.
Kind of popping.
Say So
is that
poppin'.
good?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I don't have it. I don't know. I don't have any Doja Cat. I wish I did. But anyhow.
Did you cross-reference under cat?
I did. Well.
Comma Doja?
I'm looking.
Is it cat with a C or cat with
D-O-J-A, Doja?
I can give you Destiny's Child.
You know what? We never know the difference.
I can give you the Dave Clark 5.
Might pick that one out.
These are DCs,
Yeah.
I do not have Doja Cat. But apparently just before 5 o'clock, a guy was upset because he was in line for so long and called in a bomb threat to the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Station. The show's in Indianapolis. He's waiting in line for tickets for the show. Not buying them online, but actually...
Who waits in line?
In line. I know. Trying to
Other than for COVID tests.
Well, excuse me. It was a free concert featuring Doja Cat, and it was just you get in line and go in, and it was taking forever. So he called in a bomb threat, hoping that the line would move and he could get in to go and see the show.
Everybody's got caller ID, man.
I mean, obviously. And they caught him within minutes and didn't have to evacuate or anything. They did look around. They got him immediately for calling in. He said he had a bomb on his person and was going to blow it up, so they went right to him.
Of course.
Got him. And he's going to be in a ton of trouble, too.
That's the dumbest of the dumb.
I mean, that's about as bad as it gets, isn't it? A hero. Barber has put together a giant ball of hair and made it into the Guinness Book of World Records.
Hero? Are we slumming here?
How far out in the plains states do we have to go to find this? I'm sure it's on a side off Highway 66 somewhere.
Ohio.
There we go.
They're in Ohio.
Come see the biggest ball of hair.
Apparently, a relative of his said, you ought to collect this ball of hair and get into the Guinness Book of World Records. So he swept it up for weeks and weeks, and he made a 225-pound ball of hair. His name is Steve Walden.
It's like, Dad, I think you should take all the hair and build a giant hairball and get in the book. Because look, they've got rubber band balls and they've got yarn balls. So I took a corner of my salon and I built a hole into the side of the wall and into the basement, made a chute, started saving the hair, started building it in the basement. I was super, super happy. I felt like if I died now, I have left something that my great-grandkids are going to be able to pull up.
Grandpa was weird.
Yeah. How big did you say this thing was, Kelly?
225-pound ball of hair.
How far across is that?
I don't know about the dimensions. That's a good question.
How dense is hair? It seems light.
And they did it by weight. I know 225 pounds. How long would it take to sweep that kind of thing up? Because, when you go into a barbershop, obviously, salon.
I don't even want to think about that. I think it's gross. Why would you even do that?
I know it's
everybody. Remember that in the Guinness Book, Chris Demm? The giant ball of
yarn?
Yarn and twine.
It was like out in Kansas or something.
Yeah, just sitting in a field.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Black and white.
I've seen it many times in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah.
Well,
is it as big as that? I mean, that was like a guy was standing next to it. And
looking up at it. His son said, they've got twine, they've got yarn, why don't you do the world's largest ball of hair? And he literally
walks right through your door every day, Grandpa.
It's true, and it worked. He did it. He got it done. He's a hero.
Dandruff flying off of it in the wind. It is outside, right?
I don't know where it is. That's a good question. You have to make it outside.
You have to wash it?
I don't know.
Condition it?
That is, has he washed it every time he cuts it? Does he wash it?
Red, brown, blonde?
It's a brown. It was like a dark brown. Yeah,
I just tried to Google it. The previous record was 167 pounds.
He crushed it, didn't he?
He crushed it. He's also, I can't tell if this is his picture or not, but he's put like Mr. Potato Head arms, eyes, mouth, and nose on it.
It's like there's a
cowboy boots
picture
and
of
a cowboy hat.
It looks about to be the size of the abscess that was in Biggie's butt.